Welcome back to another video. So as we can see over here, the last video that I created regarding generative AI and how it will change sculpting had a lot of interaction. Now I will do a follow-up for that, and I want to show you how you can easily import this and start working within Blender to get started with sculpting. So this will be the case study mesh. We have a table with some ornaments. We're going to see over here the additional information regarding this session and who created this. This was again made with the sculpting algorithm. And regarding the information for the mesh, this will be set to triangles. We can also visualize that over here. If I will download this, we're going to receive the following archive over here. So let's get started within Blender. I will go to File, Import. I will select the FBX, and within downloads, this will be the FBX. So this will be the scale that this will be imported. Keep in mind that the default cube within Blender is 2 meters. So if I will just move this to the side, this table is quite large, so I will just scale it a little bit, maybe 0.5, and afterwards I will grab it like that. Now, to get started with sculpting, if I will just select the object and I will jump directly within the sculpting tool, I can do that without any problem. And if you want to change the mesh topology, if I will press tab, we're going to see that this will be defined by triangles. So you can just press tab to go to edit mode, and afterwards, if I'm going to press F3, this will enable me to do a search filter. We can search over here for the following command. So triangles to quads. This will be Alt-J, the hotkey. You can just apply that and we're going to see how those will be converted. So in some cases, we're still going to have some triangles, but for the majority of points, those have been converted from triangles to quads. And now to get started over here, we can make use of radial symmetry. So over here I can enable on the axis, for example on X, and if I will press G to grab, I will have the possibility to grab on those two axes. I can also enable a different axis. In this case, we're gonna see that if I wanna move all of those 4 points at once, I will need to enable a radial symmetry, so we can do that over here. And on the y-axis I will go to 4 over here. Now with that enabled, we're gonna see how that will work. So I can just grab the endpoint over here and I can move it, and we're gonna see that all of those will move the same. So we see that the symmetry of the mesh will not be perfect, but this will be more than fine to get started. And we can easily sculpt some interesting ornaments over here using this radial feature, as we can see over here. And I can also do multiple grabbing over here, and that will be the output. Now I also want to check some other models over here, because the table is quite good, even though the ornament over here will be different as the one outputted, so before I had those modified. But let's check some other models over here. For example, this toy dragon. Again, we're gonna see that the topology for this will be quite good, even though over here on the back this has an added blob sphere over there, but we see the position for those hands, and the wings have a certain symmetry already added that can be further easy to work with. The same over here for those ears. Even though they are not perfect, they are more than fine to get started. It will be the same over here for the face. This will be quite decent and symmetrically, only this element at the top will not be positioned perfectly. If I'm gonna check some other models, for example, we're gonna have this one. This again was set to sculpt, so we see how little geometry this was added. We see the original image over here. I can open that with a new window. So overall we have the block out of this pistol defined, quite good over here. So we have that profile. Even though over here in the middle, if I'm gonna take a look over here, this will be a lot longer than the one that we have over here. But we can just select this within Blender and grab it, so we can easily rescale that over there. If I will also check this model, we're gonna see over here, we're gonna have a little bit of detail for the eyes. And overall the shape of the chest bone is quite good. Also this Santa. Okay, so let's take a look at some other models. For example, this one. We see over here within the image that we had a profile of some lions. So as we can see over here, maybe not exactly a lion, but we see a feline over here. So it will have that, maybe it's a puma or something else, or a panther. But overall within the output model, we're still gonna have a little bit of detail, but this is far from the one within the image. So overall, the algorithm define the mesh, but for fine details, for example, over here on the ground element, we're gonna have a little bit of detail, but yeah. Still, this is a good start to get started with the following model. And we see over here this one. So even though initially, if we just gonna check this, it will have a lot of details, this will be far from the original. So as we can see over here, this will be in front. So this is totally not as within the image. So we see over here, we have that middle section, which is not visible over there. So this will be the back, this will be the front, and we see how different this will be. So we have this orientation over here, good, defined, but afterwards this has been splitted into two. I think that this was mostly because the algorithm tried to enable a little bit of symmetry over here, and it didn't perfectly define what exactly should be symmetrical over here. We see over here this has also been added. And if I'm going to check this from the back, this will be way off. We see that overall this tool is quite good, but since this is just getting started, we see that, for example, for this table, it was really good. So let's check some other model. For example, this one will be the last. We're gonna see for this small train, we have a lot of details over here, but they will not be that rounded. So just like the other objects, for example, over here on the wheels, this will be a little bit better defined. But over here in the front, we're gonna see how far this is from a cylinder. So let me know in the comment section what is your opinion regarding this. I am looking forward to have a plugin like this directly within Blender, so we can just add that image and have the mesh directly loaded over here. That will be a great add-on in my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. I will position a similar video over here on the left side, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.